Hi, I'm Amanda Bell Goldmakher, and I am the senior educator in the education department at the Sterling and Francine Clark Art Institute in Williamstown, Massachusetts. This video is part of Clark Connects, which is a suite of digital public programs we're creating to connect audiences with our collection at a time when we can't be together in the galleries. I'm here today to talk with you about one of my favorite sculptures, favorite artworks really, at the Clark, Brotherly Love by George Gray Barnard. Most sculpture is 3D and done in the round, which is to say you could walk all the way around it and consider it from all angles. Brotherly Love is a bit unusual because it has a flat back. So at the Clark, it lives in a little niche that many visitors pass by and may not notice. First, let's consider the figure's posture and body language. We have two nude figures facing one another, but we don't actually see their faces, so we cannot know their expression or where they're looking. What we can see are the carefully detailed bodies, the bent knees, the arching backs, the hard skulls, and the slender ankles, all facing towards one another, but separated by a strange amorphous mass. The sculpture is made of bronze that has a very dark patina. Notice that the bronze delineating the bodies is smooth and burnished to show that smoothness of skin stretched over bone and muscle. The bronze describing that mass between them is mottled or stippled. It has rough sections that jut out, partially obscuring the figures, and other sections where it seems to creep in over their bodies. So, who are these people? Are they friends, relations, strangers, lovers? This sculpture can be really visually confusing, especially as you try to decipher which hands belong to which figure. It may be especially hard to make out on a screen, but if you look at the center of the sculpture, you can see the figure's thumbs interlaced like this. So, all of this is to say that I interpret the figures as striving for connection and succeeding, at least with their hands. I actually like to think that they can see through this material between them, and maybe their eyes even meet. Remember I told you that the sculpture has a flat back? Well, there's a special reason. That's because it was designed as a funerary monument, a memorial sculpture for a gravestone, which is meant to be seen from one side. Alfred Corning Clark, who was the father of the Clark Art Institute's founder, Sterling Clark, commissioned this sculpture to be made by the artist George Gray Barnard. The sculpture was created to honor Alfred's longtime companion, Lawrence Severin Skaugard, who was a Norwegian tenor singer. Alfred Clark was a family man. He was married to his wife Elizabeth from 1869 until his death in 1896, and they had 4 children, including our founder, Sterling, together. By all accounts, they had a happy marriage. But Alfred's relationship with Skaugard was hugely important. For 19 years, he was Alfred's closest companion. The two met as young men, and starting the year he married Elizabeth, Alfred Clark began making annual summer visits to Norway, eventually building a house on an island near Skaugard's family home. It's highly likely that the two men had a long-standing romantic relationship. When Skaugard died of typhoid fever at the age of 47, Alfred was devastated, and he commissioned Brotherly Love as a testament to their relationship. Regardless of the romance in Alfred and Skaugard's relationship, their bond was very strong, so it makes sense that Alfred sought a way to pay tribute to that relationship. One thing that most people who see Brotherly Love seem to agree on is that, physically reaching one another or not, the figures in this sculpture demonstrate a strong desire to make a human connection. Perhaps these figures are meant to represent Alfred and Lawrence, attempting to connect with one another despite social mores about their sexuality. Or perhaps it's a more universal theme of the yearning for human connection. What a wonderful symbol of life in the age of social distancing. We could share many interpretations of what stands between people now: distance, disease, loneliness, fear. But we can also celebrate the strong desire for human connection and take comfort in the many ways that people are reaching out to one another through and beyond these barriers.